Hi, I'm Rick Maroon, Director of the Clinic for Individual and Family Counseling at the University of Akron. The following video presentation is being designed to help you navigate your way through sensitive issues that may arise during your clinical experience while you are in practicum. The participants in this video presentation are graduate assistants, not actual clients. So we hope this will be a helpful guide to you as you begin your journey in the field of counseling.
Chase is a 22-year-old client who identifies as male. He has had some mild depression, which he describes as feeling melancholy. Chase is very spiritual, has a strong support network, and is currently working in a job that he enjoys, but lately work obligations have been mounting. His social life has been a great deal slower than he would like, and he is feeling some mild stress.
Let's begin our telehealth session.
What's been some of the more difficult things going on right now?
I just feel pretty, I suppose, down just because I can't physically be with my friends and family like things were before the pandemic started, and that's really seems to be weighing on me quite a bit.
Okay. What have you been doing for self-care these days?
Well, I'll tell you, I had a glass of wine with dinner, and that helped me feel a little bit better. Other than that, I've just been binge watching Netflix and eating quarantine snacks.
A glass of wine with dinner? Is this a problem? Is this an unhealthy coping strategy? Not likely. Perhaps something worth paying attention to in the future, but currently, Chase had one glass of wine with dinner. He has no history of substance issues. It is not unusual to drink wine with dinner, and his body language, speech, and focus do not appear to be like someone who is impaired. His overall behavior is as it always seems. But who's been most supportive of you at this time?
My dog. I don't know where I'd be without my dog, because I live alone. So, being able to have him and still be able to take him for walks and stuff has been really helpful.
Oh, okay, so you are doing a little bit of exercising with your dog then, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he'll need to go. He needs to go out a few times, and we go on walks around the block and things like that.
Okay. Are you able to work from home at all?
Yes, I've been working from home. Yeah.
Oh, good. So it sounds like there's a couple real positive things happening in your day-to-day, but there's still some struggles for you. What do you say is the most difficult thing going on in your day-to-day right now?
At work, it's just been focusing. It's very hard to focus. I try so I can distract myself from just not really knowing why I would even think about wanting to go on, and I really just have trouble focusing and pulling myself away from thoughts like that.
So when you say you're not sure about wanting to go on, do you mean about the work you're doing, or are you talking something more broad?
I'm just talking in general. It just seems like the monotony of the day-to-day is becoming so much with everything going on.
So just to be really clear, are we talking about thoughts of self-harm or suicidal thoughts?
I don't think I would ever do anything like that, hurt myself or actually kill myself. I don't see a lot of purpose in what's going on, and it's just difficult to trudge through the day. What's the point?
Okay. Is this suicidal ideation a cause for concern? Although Chase is depressed, he does not usually have thoughts of self-harm. We know from previous sessions that his spirituality forbids it. We know that he loves his dog, which gives him some purpose, and he loves his job despite its current stressors. And above all, he stated that he does not want to harm himself. Still, Chase is depressed, he is alone, and he is scared. A safety contract will give Chase a tangible means to keep his focus and have important telephone numbers to obtain support from family, friends, and emergency services should he need these people. If a clinical trainee has any doubts, the trainee should immediately contact the supervisor. Furthermore, if that trainee needs to complete a safety contract because there are concerns but no imminent danger, the trainee's supervisor and the clinic director should be notified immediately after session.
So, knowing that you've been battling depression and some of your personal history, it seems like it would be maybe a good idea for us to put together what we call a safety plan. Are you familiar with the safety plan?
So somewhat, yeah.
Okay. So in the safety plan, it's really a way of us putting together some ideas for you to stay safe between now and our next session. And it also gives us an opportunity to put down the names and numbers of very supportive people in your life, so we can guarantee when you're feeling really down, maybe sometimes engaging in conversations with supportive people will help you feel better. Would you be open to us getting a safety chart together here for you, safety plan?
Yeah,
Okay.
That sounds good.
So let me pull the contract up. So Chase, I'm wondering, now that you have the safety plan in front of you, and you've seen what it looks like, and I'm wondering, does that give you some ideas of how to better take care of yourself, or at least some avenues to go down if you need support?
Yeah, especially being able to call or text my best friends, or to make sure that, I'm really engaging in like a good schedule in terms of like going on my walks and things like that. And like maybe even FaceTiming people while I'm on my walks, so I can connect and exercise kind of at the same time.
Yeah, I think it's really helpful to have something in front of us that we can look at that helps keep us on track. So I'm really glad you were able to do that with me today, and you have some resources. If things start to get really feeling bad to you and the ideas of self-harm are hard to get rid of, then I would encourage you to call one of the safety numbers we have on there for emergency purposes. And if things get really bad, of course, it would be a good idea to either get yourself to an emergency room or have somebody you trust get you to an emergency room. Okay?
Yeah, that sounds good.
But I feel really positive. You have some great ideas that'll help keep you on track and feeling good. So we're going to keep our thoughts moving in a positive direction. And I have a good feeling that next week you're going to even be feeling better.
Yeah, I hope so.
Great. Let's begin our telehealth session.
Momo is a 29-year-old client who identifies as female. She has recently gotten married but feels that married life is not what she had hoped. She has a history of suicide attempts and is struggling with depression.
Hi Momo, how you doing today?
Not really good, Rick.
No? What's going on?
Just I thought I was going to be promoted, but it didn't happen. And my best friend, she got the position.
Oh.
And I'm happy for her, but at the same time, I'm really, disappointed, and I think I'm jealous as well. And I feel like, it's just one position. So, as long as she's in a position, there's no way I'm going to be promoted, and just feel like there's no point working there. And if there's no point in working there, I feel like there's no point of my life.
It's become evident that Momo's having some very serious depressive feelings. Knowing Momo's background, we need to do a bit more probing to find out if this is a real concern currently. Okay, well, it sounds to me like this has been pretty depressing for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know in the past when you've had this level of depression, that's led to thoughts of self-harm. So I'm concerned, are you having thoughts of self-harm currently?
Yeah, thinking about, I know it's not good. It's not good, but at the same time, I just really don't see the point of living. So I keep, pills just keep popping up in my mind. Yeah.
Okay. So you kind of sound like you have a plan in mind.
Right. So, cutting wouldn't do much, and I'm kind of scared of knife and blood too. So it's being always like just superficial cuts, but I think, I read, feels like a good way to, get it done really kind of peacefully. So I just keep thinking about it. Maybe I'm gonna try that.
Okay. This is of course a pretty big concern for me because of everything we work on is to help you be well. And so this would be obviously not working to our benefit in any way. So I would like us to take a look at our safety plan if we could and think of ways that we could make you feel a little bit better so that you could be safe. Okay?
Okay, Rick.
All right, let's take a look at this together.
There are 8 elements to the safety plan. Make sure you acquire as much detail as is possible. Take all the time that you need to be thorough and complete in this safety plan.
So Momo, now we've prepared the safety plan, and I'd like us to kind of keep this as our top priority. How are you feeling right now, do you think?
The way I feel is the same, I mean, I could go read a book, go for a walk, things like that, and, talk to my family. I can do all those, but the fact that I'm not going to be promoted for a while wouldn't change. So then, again, what's the point?
So I'd like to know that we have some kind of plan in mind that you can stay safe, but I'm not really convinced that that's true yet. Do you think you can stay safe?
I really don't know. I'm just really depressed and I can't really think.
Okay. Let me consult with my supervisor, if I could please.
At this
Okay?
point,
I
it's
just
become
need you to stay
evident that
right
I need
there,
the
and I'm gonna
assistance
do a
of my
quick
supervisor.
consultation.
I will do this by placing my microphone on mute and calling my supervisor. Do not allow the client to leave the visual sight of the camera. It is important we keep an eye on what's going on with our client while we are making this very important call. It is equally important that we remember to mute our microphone so that we can have a very frank discussion with our supervisor without the client knowing exactly what is being said.
So, Momo, I talked to my supervisor, and we're under the belief that if you're feeling this unsafe right now, and knowing that there's been a history of self-harm, it's probably in your best interest to have another opinion. So we'd like you to maybe go to the hospital at this point. Do you think you could manage, with the help of your spouse, to go to the hospital?
Yeah, I guess so. I can call him.
Okay. Is there somebody at the house with you right now that could help take you to the hospital?
My sister-in-law lives like, a couple blocks away, and she's a housewife, so maybe she can.
Okay. So, I'd like us to make a definite plan. Are we going to have either your sister-in-law or your husband be able to take you to the emergency room today?
I guess I'm gonna call my sister-in-law first, because my husband's at work. I don't know if he can, get out of work or whatnot, but I can see more chance with my sister-in-law.
At this point, my supervisor has joined the session and is text messaging me with information of how I can proceed with this client. I need to clarify and get Momo to commit to a safety plan that can be followed through with.
Actually, let's have you call her and make sure that she's home.
Okay.
Momo has finally committed to demonstrating her safety in front of me by making this phone call right now.
So she just said that she can come over and we can go to hospital.
Okay. What I'd like you to do is either you or your sister-in-law, please let us know that you reached the emergency room by calling the university clinic. Okay?
Okay.
Can you jot that number down for me? I'll give it to you right now.
Okay.
Okay, the number is 330-972-6822.
Okay.
And we see with Momo that she is recognizing some of her depressive feelings. She's also making an effort to help her own health care, and she's being very cooperative with this process. What's going to happen when we come across somebody who is not very cooperative with the process? Let's take a look.
Mindy is a 40-year-old client who identifies as female. She has previously been diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, but feels quite strongly that she suffers from bipolar I disorder. She is often viewed by others as aggressive and unpredictable. To this point, she's been very cooperative in her therapy sessions.
Hi, Mindy. How are you doing today?
I'm okay. I feel like I've really been struggling. Like I don't feel myself. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like I can't sit still. I feel like I constantly want to be moving, and I feel like I just have to be moving. I feel like I want to jump out a window. Honestly, I just feel like I want to run. I want to do something. I can't.
Mindy is seeming very anxious today, and anxiety has been a trigger for her to have suicidal thoughts in the past.
But I know sometimes
this needs further exploration.
Your level of anxiety gets pretty high, and sometimes you've even had thoughts of self-harm. Is that a concern you're having today?
Yeah. I can't stop thinking like how nice it would be to just be done with all of this, to just not be a burden on my family. I feel like I'm no good to them. I feel like all I do is stress them out. And I feel like I keep thinking like, well, I could, slip my wrists in the bathtub and stuff, or drive my car off a bridge or into a tree or something and just be done with it all.
Okay. These are pretty extreme thoughts you're having. Are they actually a plan you've formulated?
Yes and no. I think about it all the time, but I can't think about having my kids see that mess, or I don't know, but like the car thing seems more reasonable if I could ever find a time when I don't have my kids in the car, but I always have my kids, because it would never hurt them.
So this sounds like you're making some very specific plans here, which concerns me. At this point, Mindy has expressed some very serious concerns for her mental health and also for her safety. We need to do a few more probing questions and then contact our supervisor to find out what would be the next best course of action. I'd like us to take a look at our safety plan and see if maybe if we work on that together, we could come up with a better solution.
No, safety plans just are silly. Who, when they're feeling this way, is actually going to stop and look at that stuff? I mean, it's a waste of time.
I think you find that the safety plan could be really quite helpful. It gives us something concrete to look at, and maybe some phone numbers of supportive people.
No, I don't. All these supportive people, I'm the one that's causing stress for them. It's not going to. How would I cause them more stress by calling them? That's ridiculous. I'm okay. I'm fine. It'll be fine.
Okay, well, just to be on the safe side and to follow our protocol, I need to touch base with my supervisor. So I need you just to stay put for a second, okay? And I'm gonna get in touch with my supervisor.
Well, do we have to call other people?
At this point, it's really, required of me to check in with our supervisors, okay? So it'll just take me a minute if you can just hang on for a second, okay?
Okay.
At this point, my supervisor needs to be notified. Mindy seems to be rather intense in her presentation and anxious, and is not responding well to redirection. Remember, when calling your supervisor, mute the microphone, but make sure that the client stays in the visual sight of the camera.
So Mindy, I was talking to my supervisor, and together we kind of felt that with some of the concerns you've had in the past and some of the way you're speaking today, it probably would be a good idea that you check in with someone at the emergency room. So
I don't think that's necessary. No. I'll be fine. It's okay.
Okay, well, I appreciate what you're saying, but can you guarantee me or commit to being safe between now and the next time we talk?
I can't make promises. I can't. I feel like I would be a liar if I said that I'm for sure wouldn't do anything. But I think going to the hospital just seems a bit extreme. It just, no, I don't think that's necessary.
Well, we want to keep you safe. That's the whole reason why you come to counseling, is to improve your life. And we want you to be healthy and safe. And so really, with you feeling the way that you are and considering how things have been in the past for you, and you've mentioned some very lethal ways of harming yourself, I really feel it's imperative that we send you to the hospital system.
Well, I have to say I disagree. I have to say I'm kind of disappointed that this is supposed to be confidential, and yet you called your supervisor and are telling them, and now you're telling me I need to go to the emergency room. I thought this was just between us.
We do protect your confidentiality except where your safety is concerned. And where your safety is concerned, that is paramount. It takes precedence over everything. Mindy is being somewhat difficult and not cooperative with this process. There's reasons, I'm sure, but we must ensure her safety. So we can validate some of her feelings, but we also have to make it very clear that we have to protect her safety. So we really need you to get to the emergency room. If you're not able to get there on your own, we can make certain that some medical professionals come to your house and help you get there.
What do you mean? Calling an ambulance?
We feel that your safety is at enough risk right now. We may need to call an ambulance if you're unable to get yourself to the emergency room.
Whatever. This is ridiculous.
Is there someone with you now that could take you there?
No.
Okay.
Mindy has no one to take her to the hospital, and her preferred method of suicide is a driving accident. Putting her in a car at this point would be ill-advised, and it has been recommended by my supervisor that an ambulance be called.
So at this point, it's been advised to me from my supervisor that we get the assistance of an ambulance.
At this point, my supervisor will guide me in calling 911 so that an ambulance can arrive to help Mindy. After the session is done, an incident form must be completed to explain exactly what happened. Fawn is a 24-year-old client who identifies as female. She is completing a master's degree in computer sciences and reports that her education has been overwhelming and causing her issues with insomnia. In the past, she has turned to alcohol and drug use as a coping strategy to deal with these kinds of stressors. She is coming to counseling to help reduce the stress in her life.
Let's begin our telehealth session. Hi, Fawn. How you doing today? Hi, Fawn. Can you hear me and speaker okay?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
What did you say?
I was asking, how are you doing today?
My dog likes to chew on bones.
Okay. Yeah. So, Fawn, are you feeling okay today?
Yeah, I'm actually things are been okay. Yeah.
Okay. You don't seem quite yourself today. Is everything all right?
Things are pretty fine. I don't know what I did with my keys. That's not good.
We have noticed that Fawn is addressing some issues that don't make a lot of sense to our conversation. She is somewhat disheveled from her usual appearance and is acting peculiar considering what our previous sessions have been like. We need to do a few more probing questions to see exactly what's going on with Fawn. So I know we haven't done a check-in lately about substance use. How's that been going for you? Have you had any struggles with alcohol or drugs lately?
Yeah, I think just this, all of this is just so much. So, yeah, I relapsed last night, actually. So, yeah, it's been hard.
Okay. And when you relapse, can you tell me exactly how?
So I went to the store this morning to get more alcohol, but I actually started drinking last night. I found some beers in the fridge outside, and I thought I cleared everything out, but I didn't. And when I went to the store, I also ran into my friend, and they gave me some weed, so I smoked that this morning, and I just want to go have some lunch in a little bit, and maybe that'll help. But I feel good, but I'm kind of disappointed.
Yeah. So that's very difficult when we have what you said, the fall off the wagon. That's a very difficult thing. So are you sharing with me then that you've used substances today? Then you've smoked weed and drank alcohol?
Yeah, not as much as I did yesterday, but I did. Wait, what was your question?
So we're just trying to figure if you've used any substances today before your session.
At probably 2 hours ago.
Okay.
But not right now.
Okay. So you don't quite seem yourself, and I know that substances came into the picture today. So what I'd like us to do is hold off on any further session today, and let's regroup next week. And I just want to remind you that our sessions can really only be functional if you've been sober. So I'm hoping next week we can start session with you having not used any substances. Does that sound like a good plan?
So you want to hang up right now?
Yeah, I think for the to follow policies within our clinic, we really need to reschedule. Our work won't be very effective if you've been using substances. and aren't clear-headed to be able to think about some of the things we need to think about. Okay?
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
All right, so let's take a break for today, and we'll regroup next week.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Fawn.
When assessing for intoxication, look for the signs of slurred speech, disheveled appearance, incoherent speech, vacant staring, or other noticeable behaviors that are out of character for your client. If vulnerable people, such as children or elderly, are in the care of the intoxicated client, seek a supervisor's assistance immediately. If the intoxicated person reports that they are going to drive, report to your supervisor in that circumstance as well immediately for assistance. Aaron is a 35-year-old client who identifies as male and takes care of 3 children. He came to counseling due to anxiety and communication issues with others. Through the assessment process, it was discovered that Aaron has had a history of substance abuse, with his drug of choice being alcohol. He has had 4 DUIs and been convicted of an alcohol-related crime in which his victim was admitted to the ICU for 1 month. He has had bouts of depression and has been accused of becoming aggressive when drinking.
Let's begin our telehealth session. Yeah, good. So how's work been going this week?
Man, I don't know what they mean. You know, they tell you you're an essential employee, and then, you know, they don't treat you any different. You know, they still treat you like you're supposed to, you know, you're so essential. And
Aaron typically is a very mild-mannered person. Today, he's being somewhat argumentative and not making a whole lot of sense compared to what he usually says. We need to do a little further exploration, especially knowing his issues and histories with substance abuse.
And they just don't care, and it just frustrates me. So, you know, just no way. You go to work every day, and then when I come home, I finally get some time to relax and just to have some me time, a couple drinks, and just chill. And it's just, you know, and that's what I get. But then, you know, they next day same thing again. So it's just, you know how it is.
Yeah. So I know we've talked about substances before, in particular drinking. Are you drinking these days?
What do you mean?
Well, we had talked about you being sober and going to AA in the past, and I know we're all kind of on lockdown now, so I was wondering.
Yeah, well, everyone says that, but, you know, I don't. I did the program for a little bit, and I got over my problem, and so I just drink a few drinks in the evening to calm down from a hard day of work, and it's not non-issue for me.
Have you had any to drink tonight?
Well, I had some, this evening, you know, like, you know, earlier this evening, before, a little bit before our sessions, you know, probably a couple hours, you know, go a few little, you know, just not like right before, but yeah.
Okay, how much do you think you drank tonight? This evening?
Just a couple drinks, just just like a typical amount, you know, not like Saturday night and, you know, you're out, you drink a bunch, you know, I don't, you know, just to get the edge off from you know, day work, you know, they talk about you being an essential employee and all that stuff. So you come home and I'm trying to deal with the kids, and then the wife leaves and she has to go do her thing. So just, you know, so just a couple drinks, not much.
Okay. Well, this raises some concerns for me, since this has been something that's been a bit problematic for you in the past, and I just
it wasn't a problem. I'm telling you, it wasn't a problem. People keep saying it was a problem in the past. I just had a moment. It wasn't like a problem in the past. It was just a moment, had a couple, you know, issues there, and I got past that. It's not a problem.
Well, you don't quite seem yourself this evening either. I'm a little concerned that maybe some of the alcohol was maybe too much for tonight. I
told you, it's only been a couple. I mean, I don't get like why you're trying to I don't get why everyone tries to seem like it's more than it is. You know?
Yeah, that seems to be overwhelming you. That's kind of bothersome that people are making statements like this.
Aaron is not being particularly cooperative, but we need to protect his safety. This would be an example of when I really need to get a hold of my supervisor.
But at the same time, we are here to help you in the best way we can for your health and well-being. And it seems like you not acting like yourself too much and knowing that you had a little bit to drink, maybe we would be better off to reschedule for next week.
I already reschedule for next week.
Just at a regular time.
You're telling me that we're not going to have this session. This is like the one break I told you. You know, the wife's out right now, and I got an opportunity here it's just me and the kids, and I'm telling you, it's not. This is the one time that I finally get to be heard throughout the week, because at work they don't listen to you, and I have to come home and I don't even get the time to relax. And so this is the one thing that I actually get to do that actually allows me to decompress finally and just relax.
I hope these video presentations have been helpful to you as you begin your practicum experience. This doesn't cover all of the sensitive topics that may come up in your experience. However, this may help you through some of the more difficult ones. Remember, you are not alone in this process. If you need to, text your supervisor, or go to the on-call list and text the on-call supervisor. Or if you need to, of course, text me, the clinic director. If it is necessary, pause the session. Keep the camera on so that you can keep an eye on what's going on with your client, but mute the session on the telehealth program. Then pick up your phone and call your supervisor, the on-call supervisor, or me, the clinic director. We're confident that you're going to do a great job this semester, and I know after some of these practicum experiences, you're going to be much more prepared to enter the field. We wish you the best of luck, and thank you for your attention.